Today, we'll be jumping into Matthew 5, which is actually the Sermon on the Mount. And the opening of the Sermon on the Mount is what we call or refer to as the Beatitudes. And so the Beatitudes are a series of statements referring to a particular group of people who are blessed and a characteristic or an attribute that they possess, and then a result of that characteristic that they get to enjoy or partake in. As I was unpacking some of these Beatitudes, looking at some commentaries and such, I came across one by Pastor David Guzik, and he describes the Beatitudes as this. In the Beatitudes, Jesus sets forth both the nature and aspirations of citizens of his kingdom. They have and are learning these character traits. So these are both something that we will possess, but are continually to grow in. And it's a much easier said than done situation here. As each of these Beatitudes seem to kind of flow poetically one after the other, it's easy to get lost in the rhythm and the cadence of the reading. But I want to slow down a little bit and highlight one particular verse here in Matthew 5, and it's Matthew 5, verse 6. It says, "God blesses those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they will be satisfied." Other translations, such as the NIV, change out that word justice for righteousness. And so this one in particular kind of stopped me dead in my tracks. I tend to hunger and thirst pretty automatically. I want to eat lunch at the right time. My body tells me, hey, it's time to drink a little bit of water. But my hunger and thirst for righteousness isn't so automatic. And that was kind of concerning to me. I had to ask myself, where is my hunger and my thirst for righteousness? And why isn't it so natural to come forth, such as hunger and thirst? And so in evaluating and praying those things, I realized that I am a fallible man, and that hunger and thirst for righteousness is an unnatural desire. But thank God for Jesus, who can come in and help stir that appetite and craving for righteousness, because that is something that is a part of his kingdom. And to be righteous is to be like Jesus. And so often we desire natural things that are of this world, but to seek first his kingdom is something that we can ask Jesus to come alongside us and to help foster and develop in our lives. And so while it may be a challenge to look in the mirror and say, God, I do not hunger for your righteousness, it is a peace to come to him and say, but please help me desire that more in my life. And so for you today, wherever you are, whether you are near Jesus or far, I ask you to evaluate, do I desire his will for my life? Do I desire things of his kingdom? And if not, ask him to come alongside you to help foster that desire. My name is Chris, and this has been my short sermon.